Hi there everyone. Today I'm taking part in an inspiration challenge with Curtain Call using this picture as my inspiration, and the confetti made me think of celebration, and I have a friend who just had a baby, and so I thought I would make a baby card. So let's get started. I am using the stamp Little Baby Big Love from Reverse Confetti along with the double-edged scallop border that I cut the pieces of paper with my Big Shot machine, and I'm taking a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 and folding it in half, so you end up with a card that is 5.5 by 4.25, and I'm just creasing the edges there. And then this piece of paper is going to be the base of the card, and I'm just going to go around and round all the corners with my crocodile corner chomper. I'm using the 1/2 inch setting for that, and it just adds a nice edge as well as kind of goes along with the scallop idea. And I'm going to be stamping the sentiment, which is Little Baby Big Love, and using my Fisker's stamper, and I'm just inking up with VersaMark because I want to be embossing with a glitter embossing, excuse my head there. And I'm just getting it centered where I want it and inking that up. And then we'll take that off. And the embossing powder that I'm using is from Stampin' Up. It's called Hologram Highlights, and it gives a really pretty look to this card along with the scalloped edges. So I'm just going to pour on the powder, getting a good amount there, and then tapping off what I don't want to use or what I don't need, and just placing that aside, and then of course collecting the rest of my embossing powder for the next time. It seems like such a small amount when you get the container, but in reality it lasts for years. So I'm just going to grab my heat gun, a heat tool, and melt the powder onto the card. So I'm just doing that there. And as it turns, you can see the letters start to appear on the cardstock. And it's really hard to see with the camera, but the hologram look and the opalescent really makes the card really makes it shine and adds to that same celebration feel. And I'm just going to go around the edges of the card and just ink them up with my stamp pad here, just to give it a little bit of a border as it sets on the card base. And now I'm going to take the 4 pieces of scalloped edges. I have a pink chevron stripe there. It's a chevron on the cardstock, but there it just looks like a pink stripe. And then I'm going to layer on a piece of cardstock from Stampin' Up, and I believe that's rose red. And then a piece, another pattern piece, which is hearts and arrows from the Yes Please Amy Tangerine 6x6 paper pad. And then finally using the Cameo coral cardstock from Stampin' Up. And I'm just testing how they fit on the base of the bottom of the card in relation to the sentiment. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of tape runner so that it holds together, because I'm going to have to trim off the edge so that it'll actually fit on the card. So you can see me, this is a little bit of a laborious process, but it pays off in the end to make sure that all the scallops are evenly placed. Now I used the double-edged scallop die cut using my Big Shot die cut machine, and you miss out on the top small scallop, but you'll see it on the very top of the scallop stack, if you will. There I am. I'm trimming up the excess and just placing those aside. I keep my little scraps like that, and you might think that they're too small to do anything with, but I have a Martha Stewart confetti heart punch, and it's fantastic for just making little hearts and keeping them for other projects. So I would try not to waste anything. You see, I'm just making sure that it fits once again. And I'm putting a lot of tape on this because it's 4 layers, and 2 of those layers are cardstock, which are kind of thick, and so I want to make sure that it is not going to move on this piece of cardstock. So there we have it laid down there, and I'm going to adhere it to the base, or the card base, and then I'm going to add a little embellishment after that, but I want to have it in place before I add my sequins. You can see the sequins there in the top left of the screen. So there I'm just centering it, making sure that showed a little bit of a border, the pink border of the card, and it just all these pinks and rose reds and corals it's a nice combination. I'm using my Tombow multi-adhesive glue to attach the sequins. It dries clear, and I have 6 sequins. There's 12 scallops, and so there's going to be a sequin. I'm trying to show you the sequin there. Every other scallop. So I'll just place those on there just to always double check that I haven't miscounted, or make sure that I have the right number of sequins. So I'm just placing those on there and getting ready to glue those down. Excuse me for my head. I grab a piece of scrap of the cut off scallop just to get the glue flowing, because if I squeeze too quickly, and I skipped over that because unfortunately my big head was in the entire screen and you wouldn't have been able to see what I was doing anyway. So the end of the day, I had glued down all of the sequins onto the card, and there you have the finished card. And here are some stills of the final card. After I turned the camera off, I went and added some sparkle with my Wink of Stella glitter pen along the scalloped edges. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.